This is a United state of mind. This is a very different scenario than what we normally do. Ladies and gentlemen, we have broken into the United View studio. Flex ain't here. KG ain't here.
Whereas the man, no Mina, no Marcel, nobody. I like this place as well.
Decent, huh?
This place is nice. Look at it. Nice little thing cover the legends over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're a bit too young for these, man. You know what I'm saying? When did you start? What was your era?
My era. CR7 right there. Michael Carrick. My boy Waza.
Right.
Patrice.
They got props here. Everything. I'm loving this place.
Stretch the legs. Stretch the legs.
Yes, hey, they got my goat. This, people, is the greatest 9 to ever play for this football club. This, if he's not in your all-time United 11, I worry for you. This is the greatest 9 of all time. Wazar, Cantona, all of you man can fight for a spot. This is the greatest 9 to ever play for my club.
I think that's generational bias right
No,
there.
Generational
Wayne
bias
Rooney.
hype. Yeah, what?
Record goal scorer.
You can put 11.
Greatest player in United's history.
You can have 2 11s. You can have 2 9s in your 11.
Eric Cantona. Change the culture of this club.
Listen, this is the greatest 9 to ever play for my club. They got everything here. I'm looking.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like a kid in a candy shop over here, bro.
It's a dope studio, bro. This is a dream for any Man United fan. But yo, we're here. I'm gonna wait for this bozo to come back into the shot. We are absolutely here, bro. I'm excited.
No, listen, I'm excited too. You know what I mean? A lot have been going on with Manchester United. So, you know, we said, what better way to discuss Man United than in the United View studio? Do you know what I mean? They got everything set up for us. I mean, we even set up the cameras ourselves.
Don't joke with that one. I know your ass didn't do that shit.
We set up the cameras ourselves and everything. So, I mean, listen.
Yeah.
There's so much to get into, Man United.
Yeah.
We literally just got the news that Lisandro Martinez is going to be out for the next 3 months.
Pour one out for my dog.
How you feel about that? Because obviously, we'll get into that first. Obviously, that's one of your favorite players at Man United currently, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how are you feeling about him being out for 3 months, and how do you think we're going to cope without him?
Yeah, Lisandro Martinez, I'll probably say, especially last season, was my favorite United player. I just love the energy, the passion that he brings, brilliant on the ball. Last season, I thought he had a great debut year for United. But this year, the reality is, United have been shaky, and he has been very, very shaky. And I think it's coming out today that the injury that he's suffered is like an aggravation of what he suffered last season. So it's fair to say that he did not fully recover from last year. So while I do think that we miss a fully fit, fully firing Lisandro Martinez, I believe what he brings on the ball, I still believe he's a good defender. We will miss a fully fit Lisandro Martinez. But the reality is we haven't had a fully fit Lisandro Martinez this year. So maybe it is better that for the next few months, go recover, get back to your best self. Hopefully United are, when you come back, are in a really good position to just slot you back in seamlessly. And I hope to see him at his best soon.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, he hasn't come back from the season well.
No.
Like, he's looked slower. He looks heavier as well. That's my one concern with Lisandro now, with this injury. Yeah. Is he going to live in the gym? Is he going to... Because once a lot of times you see players go get injured, they come back stockier, they come back bigger. Then all of a sudden, they're slower, they're harder to, they don't turn as well. And with someone like Lisandro Martinez, you can look at his frame, he has the small little legs and stuff. You need him to be as nimble as possible. Yeah. If he now becomes stocky and a bit, not overweight, but over muscular, we have a massive issue there. We've seen it with Romelu Lukaku. We've seen it with Memphis Depay. Memphis Depay is the perfect example of somebody that just went too big at Man United. And I think Lisandro has come back this season looking a bit too big. So I hope he just goes there. Hey, mate, go and do the yoga, man. You know what I mean? Go and do the Pilates. Go and do the Pilates. Go and do yoga. You know what I mean? Go ride a bike. All these things. But if he starts living in the gym, that's when I'm concerned. Because a lot of times players see injuries as a second preseason. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's get back into it. They're doing all of this. All of a sudden they come back like Brock Lesnar, bro. Do you know what I mean? I need you nimble, mate. I need you nimble. You're a footballer. So honestly,
but hold on. Because you're talking very diplomatic here, CultureCams, and I know you. I've known you for a minute now. I know you're a politician at times. Let's not escape the elephant in the room here. You're not Lisandro Martinez's biggest fan, at least not to the extent I am. Because like I said, Lisandro Martinez is probably my favorite player. For you, does he crack your top 10?
Top 10 what?
Favorite United players currently?
Of course.
Don't act like it's obvious.
Hold on. I don't even have 10 favorite Man United players. I don't have 10. If I have to do a list, I mean, that's kind of crazy. But I don't actually have 10 players that are favourites to me in this club. But no, I'd have him in my top 5.
Is he just about correct?
Yeah, I'd have him in my top 5. Look, I'm thinking about it. Who I like at this club? Like, I really, really like.
Dallo,
I like Dallo. Anana's new. Hoyland's new. I like the new boys.
You like the new ones because they haven't had a chance to pursue.
Amrabat. I like Amrabat too. I like Mason Mount too. Yeah, so all the new boys plus Dallo. That's me, yeah, I'm trying to say. But now, honestly, with Lisandro, I think he's good. I do think he's been overrated by the Man United fans. I 100% think that. I think, you know, the conversations that he was getting put in with like Saliba's, John Stones's and Diaz's and that, he's not for me at that level. I think he's good. On the ball, fantastic. Do you know what I mean? But I just think he's just not at the level that Man United fans put him. Now, overrated doesn't mean you're not good. Lisandro is a good centre half. He's good at what he does. And I said last season, I'm so surprised about the perception that I had of Lisandro going into the season last year was, wow, he's going to lose every header and it's going to be peak defensively in that way. But he's going to be able to defend high and stuff. In my opinion, he's more of a box defender than I imagine.
Definitely.
In the box, he's honestly like a mini Vidic. And I'm not even lying to you, bro. He's like a mini Vidic. He wins everything. And if he's not going to win, he's going to give you that elbow in your hip.
Yeah, he's very intelligent in the way he positions
Very
his body.
intelligent. But my issue with Lisandro is that I do have a little bit of worries that when we want to defend high, I do have a little bit of worries when he's defending wide. When he's defending wide, I consistently see him getting beaten or he takes you down to foul.
He doesn't cover big amounts of space well.
Yes.
It's natural because you talk about his height, and again, like you said, everyone thought headers would be the issue, and he actually positions himself very well to not get beat often in the air. But the biggest issue of his size is, in fact, the size of his legs. He has very short legs, and that therefore means he's not able to cover distance the same way a Van Dijk at his best could, a Konate, a Saliba, a Ruben Diaz. That I've always agreed with you. It's his biggest weakness.
And I also think when we defend high, you often see him late. You often see him late. He hacks the man down.
Yeah.
He's often a little bit late to it. Do you know what I mean? So that's my worry. I think the best game I saw him in terms of following a striker higher was when we played against Spurs and he followed Kane. But Harry Kane, he's not the most nimble himself.
Yeah.
You now try and do that against Ollie Watkins and these type of forwards. All of a sudden, he's hacking man down. He's taking them down. He's late. He's getting bookings. So that's my only worry about Lisandro. But the question I asked is, can we cope without him?
100%. That was what I was going to ask you, right? Because last season, we saw a period of the season where he was out. And Luke Shaw was actually Ten Hag's first choice to come in. And because Ten Hag likes to have another guy that you're a huge fan of, Luke Shaw here. Because Ten Hag clearly favors having a left-footed player in that back four to kind of play balls at certain angles, be that ball-playing center back next to Varane. Luke Shaw was the guy that he chose over, honestly, Lindelof and Maguire, which must have been a huge spit in the face for them. Of course, Luke Shaw's also out at the moment too. So you're left with 3 center-back options now to pair with Varane. You have Johnny Evans. You have Victor Lindelof, and you have Harry Maguire. Now, I think all 3 of them offer different things. I don't think all 3 of them at all are ideal at this time and stage for United. Who would you go for at this current moment? Not when everyone is at their best. At this current moment, who would you partner next to Rafael Varane?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all around the world.
Yeah.
I'm going Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire!
Really? I'm going Harry Maguire. Yeah, I am. Listen, I'm tired of Lindelof personally. I mean, it's been an absolute disaster to the start of the season. And Lindelof has played pretty much every game, I believe it is. He has shown countless of times over his time at Manchester United that he's just not the centre-back level that we need. Now, Harry Maguire has not been the greatest in the world either. Yeah. But I still look at Harry Maguire and I think just with his presence in the air and stuff, we could be dominant with Varane and Maguire in certain aspects. I just don't see the aspects in which what Lindelof has. What is he like? What's he excellent at? At least I know Maguire aerially is excellent. You know what I mean? He's got a bit of a presence.
Carries the ball
a little bit better. So that's my kind of thinking behind it. Now, listen, we're talking about guys that, in my opinion, both I wouldn't want at the club. Do you know what I mean?
Lineup, yeah.
But at all, or Johnny Evans. Great ball the other day to Bruno, but I possibly wouldn't really want him at the club. So I'm just going to go Harry Maguire. I think he's probably got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder as well. Maybe he can transfer that into something positive. But with Lindelof, bro, I've seen it. I've seen you with Bailly. I've seen you with Smalling. I've seen you with Lisandro. I've seen you with Varane. I've seen you with every cent or half we've ever had. And you're just not that guy. You know what I mean?
I completely agree, bro. Look, I've always said that at their best, I'm taking Harry Maguire at his best over Lindelof at his best. I mean, you look at the season where United came second under Ollie. Lindelof was starting every game, but Maguire was the dominant. He was the A-side defender out of the two. I don't rate either of them, but Lindelof for me is a player that I feel like because we don't see him so often, we don't see him for a large stretch of the season, then maybe he'll come in and have a good game. The narrative around him starts to shift that, oh, wow, this is really one of the better third-choice center backs in the league, and Lindelof is very dependable, and he doesn't make very many errors.
You man are moving mad on this one.
Flex hype, bro.
Oh, yo, how'd you get in here?
Yeah.
How'd you get in here? Hey, how you getting in, mate? Get out here, mate. This is our studio now.
You know what I call this? It's harassment versus harassment. That's what this is right now.
Listen.
But Lindelof, bro, honestly, like, he's been here since 2017. And he has never been able to put, bar again, maybe that one season where we came second, where he still had some shaky moments. He's never been able to put a sustained period of form. Even his best moments are average. And like you said, physically, bro, I can't trust the guy.
All I'm going to say is, how many goals have we conceded in the league this season? We conceded I think we conceded 10 goals in the league, or is it?
It might be more now.
Or maybe 13 goals.
3, 6, 8, not 10.
10 goals in the league.
Yeah.
Look, Maguire hasn't been part of those 10 goals in the league, I believe.
Yeah, he's been part of one, the Arsenal.
Arsenal game. Oh, yeah, he came off the bench. Yeah.
Two,
which one?
Because they scored 2 at the end against Arsenal.
True. But I just think, in general, we've seen Lindelof this season, and I just don't think that he's that guy. And the thing is, Lindelof also, for me, has always been better as the right side centre half as well. But he's going to be playing on the left-hand side. And Maguire's preferred side is the left side.
But here's
Ten Hag sees him as a right side. So
here's where I'll go back on this, though. Because as much as what I just said about Lindelof, Maguire, no matter how well he played against Palace, bro.
No, I am not using Palace as my reason.
No, 100%. And I hear you. Again, when you look at both of them, just in terms of isolation, what do they have? Their attributes. Maguire has better attributes than Lindelof. He's a better defender. But Maguire is at a stage in his career right now, for the last year or so, where, bro, everything the guy touches, he is cursed at this moment, bro. I don't believe Maguire inherently is a bad footballer, but right now, bro, he is in a point in his career where everything he touches turns bad. And I don't know if you can. And you always say it yourself, and I completely agree. Maguire has this ability to basically spread chaos and like nerves around the rest of the team, bro. I don't know if that's a guy that I want at this point in United's season, where we're trying to fix up the pieces. If I want him in my team, because bro, one issue with Maguire at this moment, one error and he just crumbles.
Yeah.
So as much as I don't really rate Lindelof, I think I would go with him next to Varane, just because I know he's gonna give you 5, 6 out of 10, which isn't great, but Maguire is genuinely capable of giving you a 0 out of 10 at this moment.
Yeah, it's true. But bro, I remember that Bayern goal, the last one. I think it was Tell scored last. I'm like, what are you doing, Lindelof, bro? Like honestly, like, and when Lindelof's head drops, he's done as well.
Maguire,
So yeah, I mean, listen, both at the end of the day, we're choosing between not the best options. For me, I would have easily went Luke Shaw left centre half, and we're good. But listen, how do we now moving forward from there? What's the type of team that you would want to see going forward for Man United?
With this squad right now,
with this current squad, because I look at it and I tweeted yesterday, I've cracked the code. Listen, people, I truly believe I have cracked the code for Manchester United to have a good season. Like, listen, now, Man United, most likely, our ceiling is probably 4th. Yeah? Arsenal definitely are better than us, Liverpool are better than us, and City are better than us. Of course, you never know what's going to happen, but our ceiling is probably 4th. Tottenham at the moment are better than us. However, it's a long season. There's Newcastle, Brighton, whatever. But our ceiling for me is 4th, right?
I would agree.
So I'm looking at our team, our makeup of our team and what we have. And I'll tell you what my lineup would be, right? So, I mean, I know we broke in here, so we couldn't get the interactive board up, but next time we're here, maybe we'll have it. But I will go Onana in goal, of course. Dalot, Varane, Maguire, Amrabat at left back.
I like the left back experiment.
Amrabat at left back, but inverted. One thing I've seen from Amrabat already he's decent at defending wide areas. And I actually saw that in the World Cup as well. He was decent in tracking wide areas. So maybe he's not going to be someone that's going to get skinned and stuff if he has to go into that position. So I will go Amrabat at left back, but inverted. Forming a pivot with Casemiro, right? Then I'm going Mason Mount. I'm going Hannibal. That midfield of Hannibal, Casemiro, Mason Mount, and Amrabat has legs, it has intensity, it has control, it has mobility. It has everything I think you need from your midfield in terms of the engine room. I see that as the engine room. Have that box. You saw Mason Mount against Palace. Again, it wasn't a great Palace team. It was a bit of a dead fixture. But Mason Mount was popping up left. He was popping up right. He was popping up everywhere. And that's what he offers that Bruno doesn't offer, in my opinion. Bruno's everywhere as well, but it's the fluidity of his movements. Then up front, I'm going Rashford. I'm going Bruno. I'm going Højlund. The reason why I'm going with them three is because there's a lot of talk about Rashford and Bruno at the moment. They are dividing the fan base.
Specifically from you, by the way.
And I came out and I said, I think while they are our direct go-to main men, we're always going to just be a top 4 team. That's not going to change in my opinion. Yeah. But what their weaknesses are can be limited with a combative engine room, which I think we can create. Bruno loses the ball crazy amount. But if you have Mount, Hannibal, Amrabat, Casemiro trying to pick up the pieces, okay, you can lose it a bit more. You can lose it as long as you're giving me something offensively.
And he will give you something.
And he will give us something offensive. You saw the goal against Burnley. Yeah. He can do something out of nothing sometimes.
Match-winning ability.
Rashford, as much as he divides opinion, and I know you don't like his intensity and stuff, he's our match winner in this team. And obviously, Højlund's our striker. We're hoping that he's a match winner too. For me, I just see it as the engine room there. Let the 3 attackers focus on attacking. Let them focus on match winning. And I think we can get a good formula out of that. I just don't think right now Pellistri and Garnacho are at the level for me to be like, you know what? Bruno and Rashford, you lot sit. Pellistri and Garnacho start. I'm not confident with that.
I would agree with you, right? Like Pellistri, as much as like the idea is nice, and especially when the recent Anthony, he kind of went out the picture, people were kind of queuing for him to come in. I just don't think Pellistri is Man United level, to be honest with you. I think his size really hurts him. I think quality-wise, like I don't want to be harsh on the kid because I think he's kind of been thrown in the deep end this season. Yeah, but I just don't really see long-term a future where he's a mainstay at this United team. Garnacho, I think clearly has something about him, and he's given us some huge moments for the club. But again, I always believe that Garnacho is best coming off the bench as an impact player. Okay. And neither of them, at this current point in their career, can give you what Bruno and Rashford can in moments. These two are moments players, and let's face it, in moments, they are amongst the best in the league in terms of creating and winning you games. Now, over 90 minutes, there's questions, but in moments, they are top. I like that midfield a lot. The one that I'm consistently thinking about, though, and he gave us so much in preseason, I really like the kid, is Kobbie Mainoo.
No, but obviously Mainoo's not available right now. Yeah. Now, if Kobbie Mainoo was available, then I'll be thinking about him or Hannibal.
But let me finish. I don't know if Kobbie Mainoo, with Amrabat and Casemiro already there, features in this team right now. I think Hannibal can give you more of... in terms of going forward.
Intensity. He ran the most.
Yeah. He covers a lot of ground, maybe pops up in more offensive positions as well, where Kobbie Mainoo, for me, is kind of like the successor to the guys we already have back then. Like maybe when Casemiro kind of goes out the picture, Mainoo can kind of take that deeper role.
Do you think Mainoo's best role is 6? Because if you look at him in the academy,
he was playing more as an 8, right?
The guy was popping up left wing, going past players, assisting.
To be fair, I'm not very familiar with Kobbie Mainoo in the academy. I don't be watching a lot of academy. But what I watched in preseason, I look at a guy that in that first phase is very, very comfortable, and he's very clean on the ball. I really liked what I saw from him.
I truly think he can offer us some stuff going forward. I truly think if we see him with senior pros like Amrabat, see him with senior pros like Casemiro, we'll see a different side to him. Because, bro, he's good at receiving the ball in the half turn. He's good at shielding the ball. He's good at moving with it. And people are going to probably soon see the guy can dribble, bro. The guy can dribble with the ball, bro. He can carry. So don't box him in just yet as a 6. Maybe let's see more. But I would say that is if Kobbie Mainoo comes back, that's where I'll be looking at him or Hannibal, whatever. But Hannibal's, I don't want to call him Fred's replacement. Yeah. But I think I'm looking at him like that a little bit.
know, even-
Can you offer us that intensity?
Yeah.
Can you offer us just breaking
That
things
little
up,
bite,
getting in and around? Yeah, I mean, just that little bit. I think maybe he can. Him and Mount buzzing around.
Yeah.
Amrabat
You know
and
the thing with
Casemiro
Hannibal
shielding
too.
it.
I even think Hannibal, his best work probably comes a little deeper as well too. And I know we're seeing him pick up these pockets a little higher up the pitch, but I still think we're missing we're missing seeing his best attributes, which actually come from picking up the ball from his own center backs. I think in that area of the pitch as well, very good player.
Yeah, so look, I actually think there's solutions in the team. I have a little bit more of a positive outlook than I did a few weeks ago.
I think so, same with me.
Once I saw Amrabat come back in and stuff. Now listen,
good was he, by
I'm
the
not
way?
trying to use Amrabat as, he's a savior.
Yeah.
But it can really, obviously Mount came back too. So it can really help Manchester United going forward. That's just all I think. You know what I mean? I think when I look at this team, there's solutions in this team for us to be good. Now, us to be world level, world class, win Champions League, win Premier League, no, maybe not. But for us to be good, respectable, actually look forward to watching Manchester United, I think there's
more
solutions
importantly
in
than
the
any
team.
of that, at least showing signs. My big buzzword is identity. Like, what is the way United wants to play? I think at least that's now a little more transparent when you put players in like Amrabat. And to give credit to Ten Hag, right? Like, these are his players. So for everyone who's saying, Ten Hag, show us something. Now that you kind of give him the guys that he's identified, the identity starts to look a little clearer. I wanted to ask you though about Amrabat. How impressive was that debut? Because me and you were both saying, we were seeing so much of the United fans clamoring for this guy and saying, don't judge the team until he's in there. And me personally, I saw him at the World Cup look very good, saw flashes of him with Fiorentina, but I was thinking, is this guy Busquets? Like, he's not going to completely change the team. But his debut against Crystal Palace, very, very promising, no?
Look, Amrabat, there's no reason at this stage of his career, how old is he, 27, 28?
Yeah, he's not a younger.
There's no reason at this stage of his career for him to be scared of anything. You've played at a World Cup semi-final. You've wanted this move. If anything, you just got to come in and embrace it. You know what I mean? You're one of the senior pros here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm impressed with that. What I was impressed with was that he just looked unfazed. Yeah, it was Old Trafford. And look, again, it wasn't the greatest Palace team. And it was an Old Trafford night. It was a Carabao. We're defending champion. It was a good time to play. So I'm not going to sit here and get gassed over it. But we are all allowed to still analytically look at our team. You know what I mean? By analyze our team. And when you're looking at it, you can see what he can give us. You know what I mean? Control, balance, protection. All of a sudden, Casemiro's like, I've got a couple goals and assists this season. I'm going forward a little bit more.
I was going to actually ask you about that. How does that box midfield now benefit Casemiro?
I prefer it, bro, because I think Casemiro has needed that. And against Burnley, I thought we saw a little bit more of a better Casemiro as well. Now, McTominay was not good, but he's just a body there. It's not Eriksen. Yeah, I mean, it's not Eriksen. He was just a body there. And now you're getting an able body in Amrabat. I think we're going to get better out of Casemiro. Now, Casemiro's best games do come often when we're in them lower blocks that we did against Burnley, which is crazy. We did a lower block against Burnley, but we're not going to talk about that. But I do think now getting Mount in, getting Hannibal in, we can be able to, be a bit more like that. And Casemiro can be like, I'm going to go because Amrabat's there. You know what I mean? Varane is there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening. We're not even talking about the fact that this box midfield was giving Dalot freedom.
Yeah.
It was giving Dalot, he got the assist, it was giving Dalot freedom. Dalot was popping up sometimes in centre midfield. You can control the game. You can suffocate the game. And that's what I liked. What I liked about it the most, was we were doing short passes. Yeah. Because Mount gets the ball, Amrabat is there. Amrabat gets the ball, Casemiro is there. Casemiro gets the ball, Hannibal, you're right. Lend it to your teammate. Usually, we're like, Rashford, where are you, mate? Whoop. Yeah, I mean, because there's no options. Eriksen doesn't want it. Bruno might lose it in a certain area. So Casemiro is launching it long. Luke Shaw, he's doing them little passes long. I just think if we pack the midfield, have it inverted, I think we can be able to play Bruno and Mount, for example, in the same team if we have an Amrabat inverting. That's what I think.
You look at, for example, like this box midfield that's like really become popularized the last year.
Everyone's doing it, bro.
City with John Stones. You look at Arsenal with Zinchenko. I'm not saying United are going to do this at the same extent as them because I think A, they've done it for a lot longer, and B, they probably have more quality individually. But that box midfield is kind of what's in modern football.
Everyone's doing it.
Football goes where Pep goes, and Pep has decided that the box midfield is really the way to go. But I love the point you brought up about Bruno and Mount, because we never said, for example, with Arsenal, Xhaka and Odegaard, could they play together? Or Liverpool, for example, they have all these like creative midfielders. Manchester City, look at the amount of Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. Now, I'm not saying that, again, we have that caliber of player, but in terms of the freedom and the protection that it'll give Casemiro, because now he's not defending a body of ocean with his two attacking midfielders going forward, but also giving those two the freedom without having to look back and say, okay, maybe I have to
100%.
be careful. I think it gives them a lot of freedom. And like you said, it unlocks Dalot as well too. Now, the question for me will be when Antony comes back, because I still think that this box midfield, to truly work at its full capacity, you need to have width. You have to have natural width. And me, I've never been a fan of Antony, you know that. But one thing he does provide this United team is natural width. So I think there is a way back into this team for him as well too, if you play this box midfield.
So, I mean, that's where Pelestri would have to be looking to try and be an impact in this team, I guess. He'll have to be thinking, how can I get into the team? How can I be that width?
Because you keep talking about whether you agree with it or not, Ten Hag clearly sees, for me, Bruno in this number 10 position. So I think you could potentially see a scenario where it's, again, that box midfield of Amrabat, Casemiro, Mount, Bruno, Antony, Højlund, Rashford.
Or let's not sleep, it could be Mason Mount on the right. Because one thing that Mason Mount likes to do, and I think that is a very underrated aspect of Mason Mount's game, is that Mason Mount is very good at creating overloads. He pops up, all right, Dalot will have the ball, Bruno will have it, Mason Mount's there. He's caused an overlap. Do you know what I mean? He's caused an overload. So he likes to do that on both sides, left and the right. So we've seen Mason Mount play right on for Chelsea. You've seen him a little bit of times play it for England. So he knows how to play that role. So let's not be surprised. The team that I gave, it could just, the only difference could be Bruno and Mount. They could be, they could rotate. But the only reason that I want Mount in there, because I just think he buzzes about a little bit more than Bruno. And I think Bruno, obviously what he offers offensively is better than what Mason Mount offers us.
Yeah. I think too, you've United as well, and Mount gave you real flashes. And I think this has always been one of his bigger strengths. Man United's midfield, I've always said, A, lacks legs massively, but B, also lacks ball carriers. It massively misses that.
Massively.
And Bruno, as many strengths as he has, one of his biggest weaknesses is that he is not carrying the ball or driving forward with it. Mount gives you that kind of different...
Mount and Hannibal.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's a massive plus. And then, like you said, Bruno, you want the best players on your team, no matter who you support, to be as close to goal as possible. Unless you're like Modric, of course, where you're controlling the game. But the guys who are going to score you goals, you want them as close to goal as possible. So yeah, I think Bruno giving us that kind of production as close to goal as possible will unlock a new side of United.
Yeah, look, and it's exciting. This is what I think we should do. That's what I think we should do going forward. Of course, we don't know what's going on with Antony's situation. I heard that he's just back in training, I believe.
He's eligible now to be selected.
There we go. We haven't mentioned that Reguilon got injured as well. So he's
United
obviously going to be out. It's crazy. Reguilon came to the club buzzing, fighting for a contract just to get injured straight
that
away.
Left-hand side, it might
crazy.
be cursed, bro. I can't
we might have to move Amrabat away from there, innit? Like, who can we throw down there, bruv?
You know, United used to be left side. We might have to move everyone to the right.
Bro, for real. So listen, at the end of the day, though, with Manchester United, we need to get the best players need to step up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's my thing. Rashford has 1 goal in 6. You know, apparently he has 4 league goals since February.
Not good enough.
These guys need to step up again. You know what I mean? A lot of times at Manchester United, over the years, it's like guys get to a certain level and it's job done. There's no job done here. Every single season you need to elevate. And that's what Ten Hag needs to look at. If people are dropping their standards, affect it. Because Pep Guardiola, when he sees people dropping their standards, he doesn't only just drop you, he calls you out. Last season, he called out KDB. Do you think the job's done, mate? Do you know what I mean? No, KDB's not playing at the right level.
What did Berbatov say? He said, you're not as... what did he say about Sancho recently?
Oh, don't overestimate your importance.
Yeah, but that goes to everyone on this team.
That goes to every single player. Do you know what I mean? So everybody needs to raise the level. Because at the end of the day, it's not been good enough. 6 of our next 7 games are at home.
They're very winnable as well.
We're very winnable. One of them are Man City. Okay, that's going to be tough. But we beat them last season at home. As well as we beat everyone in the top 6 at home. So... we need to be looking to try and win that game as well. The only away game that Manchester United have is Sheffield United. You know what I mean? We have Galatasaray at home, Copenhagen at home. I think it's Brentford, Crystal Palace. These are Man City. These are games that you should be looking to win.
This is what Ten Hag built his whole run of form on last season, bro. Win your home game. In fact, that's what Sir Alex used to do, bro. Beat the bottom half at home. You give yourself a chance to finish in those types of positions.
Look, and this is the perfect opportunity for Man United to gain that confidence. Now, I'm not even... people might think I'm mad, but even if we won all 7, I can't be too excited. The reason why I can't be too excited is because I need to see us in these away games against against City. I need to see us in an away game against these big teams, because that's been our Achilles heel. Away games. You know what I mean? We don't get it done enough away from home. So we need to take care of home. The only team that seems to have our number at home is Brighton. Yeah. You know what I mean? They did it last season. They did it this season. But last season, after the Brighton, we didn't lose a game at home for the rest of the season, I believe it was, in the Premier League.
You know the irony in that Brighton game, and of course the Brentford game as well, almost like sparked a little like change in the way we started to play. But for me, in a negative way, in terms of we became a little bit more pragmatic, sit back a bit. Since that Brighton game, I think the goal for United now is to become almost a bit more expansive.
100%.
Rediscover themselves yet again.
I keep saying, like, we have to prioritize mobility and control. Our priority for Manchester United should be, how do you control football games? Not how do you survive? Not how are we going to win this one? How are we going to control this football game?
Which has been an issue for United since Van Gaal.
It's been an issue since Van Gaal. Van Gaal prioritized that, but we just didn't have that attacking spark. He kind of overdid it a little bit, but that should be the priority. How do we control football games? That is what you need to think about in this day and age. In the Fergie days, how are we going to attack this team? How are we going to bury this team? How are we going to kill them? That's a different era of football. This era now, everyone can play. Centre mids, everyone, Basuma's, I'm knocking it about, Douglas Luiz, everyone can do it now. So how are we going to do it? How are you going to control the game away from the opposition's midfield? Because you go against on a random Saturday and what's Donny's name? What's his name? Decore will go and have
he's gonna kill us.
He'll bop it. He'll bop it and have a worldie.
Every team, Norgard,
bro. Every team just have a metronome now, innit?
But at the same time, I always say this as well too of United. My whole thing, the last 2 years, you know this, physically as well, they're not great. But I think the signings of Mount and Amrabat tick off both of our boxes here.
But this is what I'm saying.
Technical security mixed with
this is what I'm saying. So in a midfield of Hannibal, Mount, Hannibal, Mount, Casemiro, and Amrabat, that's got the legs. That's got the physicality.
And it's got a bit of...
That's what I'm saying. So listen, it's not... Hey, guys.
Yeah, look.
Listen, all I'm saying, people, if Ten Hag runs that, remember who said it first. Remember who said it first.
This guy's gonna... But the next tuning in.
Bro, he's tuning in. United View. Come on, man.
Flex, you got connections like that. I didn't know.
Ain't you seen on this channel, bro? Ten Hag be regular on this channel now, bro. You know what I mean? Man, handshaking. Yeah, he's tapped in, bro. Ten Hag's chatting to the man, them, Flex and that. He's chatting to all of them. You know what I mean? Onana's popping up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Listen, man, them. Let me have a word with Onana and them, man, there, bro. If I have a conversation with Ten Hag, we're winning the league. We're winning the league.
We might get relegated if you have a conversation tonight, bro. You're selling all our players, mate.
We're winning the league. When's Luke Shaw back then?
I have no idea.
I need that LCB role, man.
This guy's crazy.
That's his best role.
Any last thoughts? What do you think ahead of the weekend against Crystal Palace, by the way? Give us your quick prediction.
I'm going for... I'm going to say this is going to be the first time we scored 3 goals in a long time in the league.
Really?
I believe. So I'm going to go 3-1 Manchester United.
Hold on. We scored 3 goals against Nottingham Forest.
Did we? Oh, yeah. Fair enough. We barely scored.
Please watch your team.
No, but we barely score. We barely score 3 plus, innit? You know, I'm going to go 3... I'm going to go 3-1 Manchester United.
There's no way we're keeping a clean sheet. No chance. I'm going to go 2-1 United.
2-1.
I'm a little less...
Tetchy one.
Yeah, I think... Look, games rarely go the same way that they did in the league and the cup. I think Palace will be a little wiser. Obviously, you're going to have some bigger names back in. Eze looked really good in that little cameo against us. So, yeah, I think it'll be a nervous one, bro. But at this point right now, it stinks to say it at this point in the season, but United are in survival mode. So right now we have to, like you said, get past this stretch, get 3 points across the board as often as you can, and just hope that the identity and the style of play kind of just seamlessly gels in as we go.
Yeah, bro, look at... I just realized the background,
Yeah.
Me and you might have to swap seats, you know, because...
All my guys are on this
side. You're sitting with all your ops, bro.
Don't do that.
You know what I mean? Because I know you hate Ronaldo.
I love Ronaldo.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I hate Ronaldo?
You hate Cristiano.
Nah, I love him.
You ain't real men enough
Viva Ronaldo!
No, allow it, bro. You're a hater. He hates Ronaldo.
I love Ronaldo.
You ain't real men enough for Van Nistelrooy, Roy Keane, and Gary Neville. Yeah, bro.
Rudy and Carrick, those are my guys, bro.
Yeah, at the end. You know what I mean? This is your era. You know what I mean?
These guys are my guys. Rio is your guy, bro.
Rio's my brother. You know what I mean? But Van Persie's your goat.
Van Persie's my guy.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Edwin.
So, Solskjaer is your goat as well.
Don't do that. Don't joke with that.
Vidic, you love Vidic as well?
Yeah.
Scott
No,
was
you know
there.
what? I agree with you. We'll switch seats next
we
time.
need to swap seats, you know what I'm saying? Because my dogs are on that side.
Yeah.
Even though Rio's my boy, Skull's my boy. Everyone's my boy. These are legends of the club.
Of course, man.
But yeah, I need to get on that side still. But yeah, listen, people. If you guys enjoyed this, you know what I mean? This is a special. We just thought we'll gate crash this place. But if you guys enjoyed it, let us know in the comments if you would want to see us potentially hear more.
Comment
You know what
down
I'm
at
saying?
Flex. Get them in more.
Yeah, let's see what's going on, man, because we'll turn this place up. Trust me. What?
100.
They haven't even let us get the props out. They haven't even let us get the tactical board.
Let us get started.
Bro, when I start doing this and this and
This guy thinks he's Pep. This and,
this and, you know what I mean?
Yo, we have to go so wide and get the midfielder back in the box midfield.
Listen, when I start doing all
man.
of that, it's a massive problem. But listen, it was good to have you back, man. We ain't spoke United,
It's been a
me
minute.
and you, by ourselves in a
They've
long
been
time.
asking too. When are you guys coming back? When are you guys chopping it up? When are you guys gonna talk to us about United? We're here, bro.
Yeah, we got a lot of content coming as well. Myself and Liaz, you know what I
sir.
mean? Just it's a long season, guys. Can you
tuned.
believe what is it? We're still in September.
Yeah, I
I
feel
feel like we've done a season of
like
work
we're in
already.
May, bro.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, guys, we got a lot more coming, but yeah, that was can't even say that was another episode. That was just that was a special for y'all.
That was 8 episode.
That was a special for you. Now get the hell out of here, man. Get out of here, man.
Peace.